Hello and welcome to this video series. My name is Miguel and this video series is the beginning of learning programming with Delphi or Lazarus. So the goal of this video series is to start from nothing with installing the development environment and learning with small application and milestones, also more complex things like records and classes, even data structure like array and list. And in the end you will be able to develop software. Of course you will not be a professional software developer, but you will understand the basic concepts of software development. You will have a variety of tools and you will be able to develop your own applications. And when you start, you may ask yourself which programming language to choose. And the reality is that there are lots of programming languages. And I think that you have to answer this question for your own. The most important thing is that you learn the concept of programming. So how things work, how to think like a programmer. And if you learned the concept of programming and understood it, you will be able to even switch programming languages easy. That does not mean that you have to switch the programming language, but you will learn some basic concepts that you can find in most of the programming languages. But the programming languages also have differences, so it does matter which one you pick. They differ in concepts and I like to say in the effort to achieve a specific goal. This specific goal could be something like developing an enterprise application, or to generate a website, creating a mobile application or a 3D game. Some programming languages have specific features, libraries, modules, packages that makes it easy to reach this goal. For instance, PHP is used to generate websites and you can create auto-generated websites really fast with it. But on the other hand, PHP is not used to create native applications on Windows, Linux and Mac. So you have to think what you would like to do. And I want to give a short presentation of Lazarus. So your first question might be, what is Lazarus? Or maybe you even know Lazarus. So Lazarus is an integrated development environment. So basically a tool for working within programming languages, for creating projects, for writing, debugging, and all these kind of features which are needed in everyday programmer's life. It's not a programming language. The programming language is object Pascal. So this is a reason why it's also called a Delphi tutorial, because you will be also able to develop the applications we will do in this video series with Delphi. And Lazarus is using the free Pascal compiler. And the compiler is the part of the development environment, kind of converting the programming code into an executable. It has, that was a simple explanation. It has multiple parts, but in the end you will use a compiler to create an executable which can be executed on platforms like Windows, Linux or Mac. And you will be able to create applications for all kinds of different platforms. With free Pascal or with Lazarus, you can create applications for Windows, Linux, Mac, even Android, iOS, and also platforms like the Game Boy or Nintendo. But If you really want to develop software for a Game Boy, you should better pick something other, because other programming languages will have tools or even kind of libraries to better work on Game Boys. And I have to say that I don't want to waste so many words. I will get started with installing the IDE just in a second. So let's get started and install Lazarus. And in this video I want to install Lazarus on this Windows 64-bit virtual machine running Windows 8.1 Pro. So to get started, just open your default web browser and navigate to the website lazarus-ide.org. This website offers some more information about Lazarus. For instance, you could take a look at some screenshots of different operating systems and also different build targets where Lazarus or Free Pascal applications are running on. You could also take a look in the Free Pascal wiki and read information about Lazarus or the Free Pascal compiler and documentation and tutorials. And in the Lazarus forum, you can ask questions about Lazarus, about Free Pascal, and problems you may have. But most important, you can download Lazarus on this website. And I will install Lazarus 1.6 on a Windows 64-bit virtual machine. But I like to install the Windows 32-bit libraries because I like to create Windows 32-bit applications, and I will use a trick called cross elements to be also able to create Windows 64-bit applications. I have already prepared this, so I don't need to save this file, but you do. And I will simply open my downloads folder and execute the installer. You will be asked to select your language, go to next, and we will do a simple installation, so we can just hit next. We also want to associate the different types with Lazarus. In shortcut in the start menu folder is not bad. And I also like to create a desktop icon. After these options, you will have a short overview of what the installer will do, and we can start installing after pressing install. This will install Lazarus, and in my case it will directly install Lazarus on C. So if you open your PC and navigate to the hard drive C, you will find the Lazarus folder. And this folder contains the Lazarus development environment, but also the compiler and some nice tools. This is a virtual machine, and virtual machine like to be not so fast, so it will just take a moment, and after that we will continue. Now the installer finished and we are ready to go to start. To start Lazarus, just execute the Lazarus shortcut on your desktop. And at the first start, Lazarus needs to find some executables. Basically, you just have to navigate through each tab and take a look whether everywhere is an OK. And if everything looks fine, you just need to start the IDE and you're ready to develop applications. That's all for now. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that we will see